What's up, everyone? Welcome back to our channel, Sweet Camper Life. And in this video, we're not traveling. We are just talking about our RV. So we have a 2022 StarCraft 20 FBS, and we've had this RV for about almost 2 years. This is a 2022. We bought it in March of 2023. And to give an honest review, we really wanted to put some time into the RV, and we'll average about 35 to 40 days a year traveling in the RV. So after almost 2 years, I think it's a good time to give you an overall review of what our experience has been in this trailer. Some have been good, some not so good, some disappointing. It is what it is. So we're going to divide this video into two parts: the initial issues that we've had, and then the longer term issues that we've had further down the road. So let's start with the short term, or the initial issues we've had with this trailer. When we showed up at the dealership, we realized there were a few things that were wrong with it. The kitchen drawers weren't aligned. So the dealer, they've always been fantastic. Copley's RV in Hobe Sound, Florida, have been fantastic with us. So they fixed that, fixed some staples that were sticking out of the walls and panels and stuff like that. And we were on our way. So everything was perfect then. But knowing how these trailers are built, we decided we would pick it up, go home, load it up, and then go straight to the Everglades and camp, since it's down the street from us, and really give it a shakedown. So that's when the problem started to pop up. One of the initial issues that we discovered the first night that we used this trailer was that the shower pan wasn't sealed. So where the sliding glass meets the actual pan, that had not been sealed. So we were showering and water was just pouring over the plastic pan and onto the floor. So we dried it up, and then I ran down the street to Home Depot to buy some silicone and just seal it so we can continue to use it and shower. But that didn't work at all. So we had to take it back to the dealer so they could reseal all that stuff, or actually seal it for the first time. It had never been sealed before. How, as a manufacturer, you could just forget to seal that part of the shower is beyond me, but it happened. The dealer took care of it, and that was pretty much it. No more issues with that. Since this isn't our first or second RV that we've owned, once we picked up the RV from the dealership that first day, we asked them, are all the four bearings greased on the axles? And they said, yeah, of course. And we asked them, are you sure? I said, yeah, it comes greased from the manufacturer. Okay, perfect. We start using the RV, and we tend to take longer trips to Central, North Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, that kind of stuff. It's not just local stuff. But I did notice one of the bearings kept running a little hot. So we took it back to the dealer for some other stuff, including that. And it turns out that bearing basically had almost no grease in it. Again, how, from a manufacturer standpoint, how can you forget to add grease to that? Well, they did. And thankfully, we didn't have a meltdown like we've had in the past, where it just gets so hot, your bearing fails, everything heats up, gets red hot, and then it's really bad from there. So thankfully, it didn't reach that point. We caught it in time. So those were some of the initial issues we've had with the first couple of trips, and those we consider the shakedown trips, right? To make sure everything gets addressed, taken care of, so then moving forward, we don't have as many issues. But we have to understand, when we buy a travel trailer like this, it almost doesn't matter how much money you spend. It's not the best quality, you're going to have issues. So we took care of that, and then we started using the trailer as we typically do. And this is where I consider the longer term issues started to pop up. One of the first issues we noticed were roof bubbles. So I'll climb on the roof, and I'll soap it down and clean the roof every few months. And while I was doing that, I noticed bubbles were popping up. So I immediately knew there was an issue, right? The bubbles would pop up in the morning, and when I would climb up in the afternoon, they were gone. We took it back to the dealer on our way down from a trip. They looked at it in the afternoon. They didn't see any roof bubbles. Talking to them, we concluded it's probably an issue with adhesive. When the adhesive in the roof is cold, the adhesive separates, or the roof does, from the adhesive and the actual wood. And then when it heats up, then the adhesive sticks and everything looks great. So we do have some roof bubbles. They're not getting worse, but they're there, which is not great. So we need to get that taken care of once we know we're not going to be using the RV for a few months, because it'll probably be at the dealer for a few months. So roof bubbles, really, really bad, not good. One of the other things that have happened, and I kind of laughed because it was kind of funny, is this very couch that I'm sitting on right now. We had it open as a bed, and two of our girls would sleep here. So in one of those, actually, it was this past July, and we were in, I think, Manatee Springs State Park, and one of our girls is on this side, and Jenny sits here, and the couch just boom comes right off. It freaked me out. How does a couch come off? It came off. It fell. It tore through. So the middle of the vacation for my birthday, I start looking around. Turns out this couch is attached to the wood underneath it by these tiny little screws. So I did the best that I could to put them back together. Once we got home, I got thicker screws and drilled them in, and everything's been fine. But now we know if this thing is open in a jackknife way, even if there's somebody on this side, don't sit on the edge. But you would think that the couch would be through bolted to make sure there's no issues. It wasn't. So the couch literally just ripped off, and we've been able to take care of it on our own since then. The other thing that is, this one's annoying, is our countertops. So in the kitchen sink and in the bathroom, but mainly the kitchen sink, this is thermofoil. And we understand it's not the best quality. It's pretty cheap. But although the area around the kitchen sink where it meets the thermofoil is sealed, the part right by the faucet has started to peel back. So several times I've had to go back in there and add adhesive and then put it back together, add some weight to it so it sticks, and then resealed it. And I've done that a few times. It looks better now the last time that I did it, but that thermofoil is starting to peel all over the place. So one of the things we're considering doing is replacing these existing thermofoil countertops, which are garbage really, and replacing them with a solid surface. And that should eliminate that. We just need to see when we have the time and how much it's going to cost and take it from there. But the thermofoil, we knew what we were getting into, but we just didn't think it was going to start to peel back so quickly. One of the things that kind of pops up the more you use your trailer, at least in our case, were the water lines. So this was last year sometime, we're dry camping in the Everglades. And so of course the water tank is full and we're just hanging out, and I noticed some water leaking from what would be the bottom of the fridge. So I start checking all the water lines. I start checking the water heater, which is back there. I couldn't find anything. I called the dealer, took some pictures and video, sent it to them. They said, yeah, you definitely have a leak. We need to see where it's coming from. So we took it back up there, which is about 2 hours. It's not a short drive, but we took it back up to them, and it took them a few days to figure it out. They had to drop the liner underneath, and then they realized one of the water lines had a screw right in it. So during the manufacturing process, they were just drilling. They were screwing in, I guess, the kitchen counters or something, or the kitchen furniture, whatever, and a screw went right through the water line. Now, because it was there, that screw was in place, it wasn't leaking. But the more we travel, the more we use it, the more it shakes. Apparently the screw came out, and then now the water was leaking all over the place. The good thing is it was leaking on the plastic liner under the trailer, not on any wood or anything. So the dealer was able to fix that, cut that, replace it, and no issues since then. But again, you know, I don't understand how they wouldn't be careful where those water lines are running and then insert the screws in different places, but it is what it is. This one may not seem like a big deal because in reality it's not a huge deal, but the trim on the right side of the entry door as you're going out started to separate, and it's held in place um, by small nails, finished nails. And so I don't have a nail gun. So all I did was I just added some crazy glue, popped it back in place. It hasn't separated since then. Again, it's not a big issue, but the trim was separating there, and it looks like it's separating on the opposite side. Um, if it does, I'll add more adhesive, stick it in there, let it be, not a big deal. Now, one of the mysteries to me is the adhesive that tends to drip when the RV is hot from that speaker onto the slide out. And this has happened since we bought the trailer. So I don't know how much adhesive is in there, but it just constantly drips and leaks when the RV is hot. Again, not a big issue, but we just noticed there must be, I don't know, a quart of adhesive there just waiting to drip, because we have cleaned it up so many times and it just keeps dripping week after week after week. It's a mystery. It's up there. Uh, look at it. It's just kind of weird. And one of the latest issues that we've had is with the storage underneath the kitchen sink. There's a shelf there, and it's really, really thin, and it was buckling. And although we keep all the heavy stuff underneath that, apparently just the small amount of light weight that we have on that shelf was enough to cause it to buckle. So I'm not going to take it to the dealer. I just went in there and used some wood strips and reinforced it. See, and it works great now. So it took me maybe 30 minutes to do. Well worth me just doing it myself. It's worked great, but it was buckling and it kept getting worse and worse and worse. So I had to do something, and it seems to be working great. All right, so those are all the issues we've had with this trailer. Now, we tend to use it a lot, and so we expect things to pop up, and we have to fix it, whether it's on the road or take it to the dealer or fix it here at home. And we understand that's just part of the life of using, owning, and traveling in an RV, and that's okay. We also knew going in that this was not the highest quality travel trailer we could buy. This is more of a transitional trailer for us. So we made the decision to buy this one, which we liked. We liked the layout. We like the fact that it's a double axle, so we have more cargo capacity. It tows better than a single axle, and a bunch of other stuff, right? So would we buy this trailer again? Yes. Are we disappointed with the quality of several components and build and all that, and factory oversight with quality control? Yes, absolutely, we are. Did we expect it? Yes, we did, because we understand that they're providing us with the cheapest RVs they can make with the lightest material. So we could be happy that we're buying lightweight trailers at supposedly very good low prices, which isn't always the case. And we just know that we're living with this stuff, right? We're going to have to be fixing things all the time. Overall, we really like the trailer. We use it a lot, and we feel very comfortable in it. And the things that have popped up haven't been that significant, other than the bubbles on the roof, which is concerning, and we have to get addressed. So, would we recommend this trailer to somebody that's looking for a 20-foot trailer that's laid out really nice and is perfect for us, and a lot of storage and everything? Yes. Just my advice would be try to buy a used trailer, maybe a couple years old, 3-4 years old, because somebody, whoever bought it initially, already went through everything we've dealt with, and now you tend to buy a trailer that has all these kinks worked out, and you don't take the hit on depreciation. In our case, we made the decision to buy new for several different reasons. We don't regret it, largely, and we would definitely buy this trailer again. However, we would be a little bit more cautious. For example, jumping on the roof, which I did when we bought the trailer. The bubbles weren't there. They popped up afterwards. So I guess some of the stuff you can't really predict. It's always been said that you should get an RV adjuster, an inspector, to take a look at the RV that you're buying before you do, just to make sure there's no issues. Still a good idea, but we're happy with our trailer because we know what we're getting into. So that's it for our almost 2-year review of our StarCraft 2022 20 FBS. And I hope this has been helpful. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned because we got more trips coming in the next few months.